combat viable. I would throw a trap down and I'd stop and I'd shoot it, right? And if you did it right, you would not only launch yourself away from your opponent, you would also launch your opponent. You could also launch your opponent way up into the air, and if they didn't get their parachute off in time, they just go splat on the ground. It was great. I figured out all kinds of ways to do that thing. If you had kept making those videos, you've been making more money than you are now. The problem is that Battlefield Heroes became extremely unfun to play when it became pay to win, and it quickly died after that. EA stopped supporting it. It was an EA game, so once they took control away from DICE, once DICE lost control of the game and EA took over, they immediately made the system pay to win, and they added all these items that gave you like huge combat advantages, but you had to pay real money. You had to pay real money to play it, to use them, and so you'd get a whole bunch of people that were like blowing wads of money on the game, and you just couldn't beat them because they were just too powerful. So I very quickly left the game once it got to that point. But I was angry for a long time about that, like the injustices of it. And I think that's where a lot of my saltiness comes from whenever I see like predatory tactics like that used in any game. This is my long history with that. That I was dead? No, I just left the game. It stopped being fun. And it hasn't really ever come back since. They did make I did concept art for Renegade Line for a little bit. Like they recruited me to do some concept art for that, but they couldn't pay me anything, and that was when I was trying to become like freelance art. And I just decided not to. And eventually I just quit the project because it wasn't really working out. If I kept making the silly kills video for other games, I don't know. Montages kind of went out of like kill montages at the time kind of went out of style. No, my favorite clip that I ever made when I played the game was it was in this one. It was the last video I ever made. I made it 8 years ago, so I ended up like updating a lot. Overall, it was a pretty mediocre game. Where I got to show off a lot of kind of like, dude, like some of these maps were. There's the other thing is that there was a lot of things wrong for. But I wasn't interested in Hearthstone, you know. Yeah, I could have done all those things, but I don't know. I didn't want. It wasn't something I wanted to pursue. It was just not. I didn't want to become like a full-time gamer. Or no, well, the problem was at the time I was getting a lot of pressure from my parents to get a real job, right? So becoming a YouTuber was not a thing. I should have monetized the vids, but I used copywritten music. But yeah, this game here ends with probably like the coolest triple kill that I ever got in the whole game. And it's completely bonkers. So the game's about to end. Run in here. Got a lot of. Oh yeah, okay. Here it is. So the thing is that when you're invisible, you can be seen once you get within a certain range of people. So once I walked around here, ran into this guy, he saw me, so I immediately chopped him down. And then I run through here as 1 commando, 2 commandos, 3 enemy commandos that start chasing me. Run around this corner here, slash at that guy, chop down a tube trap, blast it. Both guys go flying up. Knife this guy, whip around, and headshot this guy. It's like the most badass thing I've ever done in a game, and I was so happy I caught it on camera. I don't think I completely my whole gaming career peaked, and so I quit when I was ahead. That's not true, but yeah, it was a yeah. Sometimes I still go back and watch this clip and just go like, oh man, back in '82, if I just caught that pass. Was it 80? It was it was 82, right? Isn't that the Napoleon Dynamite line? Yeah. I almost didn't use this video because like I failed this jump earlier in it. Like completely whiffed it. It just goes to show like how difficult it was and how inconsistent those jumps could be. And I'm amazed that I got as consistent as I did. Yeah, it was a good time. Good days. I did a lot of art for Battlefield Heroes, and Battlefield Heroes is actually all of my first digital pieces were Battlefield Heroes. For like the art contests and stuff. I never won the art contest though because the people that would win would like just cut out pictures of sexy women and put them into their picture, and those would get the most votes. And because it was community vote won, then they just win. Eventually, they went to a judge system, and they made me a judge. And on the forums, my name has a special gavel next to it, has a little hammer, and it was such a rare icon. People thought I was a mod. Every time I would go somewhere, they thought it was a ban hammer, and so. Anytime I'd post somewhere, people were like, oh, how'd you get that hammer next to your game? Are you a mod? Are you gonna ban me? I'd be like, yeah. I'd go, I'd flex at them, and they'd go, ah. It was fun. It was clout. I'm not a legend though. That's the thing. Is like the community for that game was dinky. I was a big fish in a little pond, and I wasn't even like the biggest fish. I just out-stubborned the game and tried to make a totally unviable fighting style viable. Barely succeeded. Had really good taste in music and edited some videos, and that was it. That's really all it came down to. I think I won. The reason why my VODs had so many views is because my videos would get they were doing like video of the week. They do gameplay videos of the week, and I would send my video directly to one of the mods that I knew. His name was Siblos, and he was a really cool guy, and he was like married with kids and all that stuff, but he spent like a lot of his free time like helping out in the forums and stuff, and he would help me like get things like video of the week and stuff like that. So it's not what you know, it's who you know. But yeah, like it did get to the point where anytime I would join a game, they'd be like, "Are you the real Adean, or are you a fake Adean? You're probably a fake Adean." And everybody would call me fake Adean. I was like, "Yeah, I'm big fake. I'm big fake." Who do I think biggest fish is? Mustang? Oh man, I remember Mustang. He was a jerk. Dude, the gameplay, if you were not a commando, the gameplay in the game was so brain dead. There's like grenade spam, just run around, just like blasting with the miniguns and stuff like that. It was silly. It really just came down to hours and having like a squad that you rolled with. But yeah, it was a weird time. Was Mustang the sniper or the gunner? I forget. He was the gunner. Yeah, screw that guy. I hated that guy. He was a big jerk. Well, I honestly, to be perfectly honest, I was a huge salty boy in that game. Like I got salty all the time in that game. So it was probably just me being salty at him for killing me over and over and over again. I was mostly frustrated by the mechanics of the game itself because the game was so poorly balanced. And I was also using a non-viable fighting style. and gunners were like broken and soldiers were broken and stuff like that. And so like, you know, and here I was taking a knife to a gunfight, and so I just get salty. I was also using a really piece of crap laptop at the time, which only got worse, and I was on a terrible Wi-Fi connection. My dad got the cheapest Xfinity package he could. Stuff like that, and it just made it hard. It just made it made the game more difficult than it had to be, on top of the fact that the game was not balanced. I returned, like as you saw, I returned briefly to the game when I got a new PC, and I tried it out a little bit, but then I quit shortly after because it was pay to play by that point, or it was pay to win by that point. I did a thing. It's actually in one of the videos. I did a thing called Ninja School, where like other players in the game would join me in a private server, and they would just join as commandos, and I would just teach them how to use how to do the troop trap jumps. Because it was only viable if you could do that consistently, and you had to do it. It was really hard to do that consistently. But yeah, because there were times in the day when, because I lived on the West Coast, in the evenings the game was dead because the game was way more popular on the East Coast and in Europe. Whenever I was playing in the evenings, I would just join server after server after server, and it would just be dead, 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 dead. So I just keep joining servers until I got to a map that I wanted, because you couldn't actually pick the map you wanted. There was a lot of garbage stuff about the game. Things that we take for granted now was just not in the game. I would just find the maps that I wanted, or the maps that I wanted to practice on, and I would just parkour the map for hours, just over and over and over and over again. And I would practice every single jump. Any place that I knew that there were snipers regularly, I would just do those jumps over and over and over and over and over again. That's what it took to like be able to use that stupid tactic. And yeah. And I wasn't the only guy that knew about that. I was just the first one that popularized it. Well, I was 20 at the time, and it was and that was in 2010. So I'm 30 now. I'm 30 now. I'm married. I've got 2 kids. I've mellowed out. I don't play like competitive games much anymore. When I play a shooter, I play Titanfall 2 now. Because Titanfall kind of scratches that itch. Because there's a lot of parkour and flying and stuff, but also gameplay. But also guns, right? I love it. There's even a knife. You can throw knives. It's sweet. You've been waiting for me to be streaming? Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm an artist now. Battlefield Heroes is actually where I cut my teeth on learning Photoshop. So all my earliest pictures were I got my tablet on my 20th birthday, and that's where I got my tablet on my 20th birthday, and I had a computer that could run Photoshop, and so those were all my first digital pieces. Were like sitting on my parents' couch with my laptop and just agonizing for hours and painting those pictures. I think that's when I got my laptop. I mean, if I got my laptop when I graduated, I got my tablet when I
Work.
yeah, I got my laptop when I graduated from high school. I got my tablet when I was 20, I think. Yeah, that sounds right. Thanks for that follow, Pablo. What's my job? This. I draw pictures. Like this one I'm currently working on. What do you think? Do you think I should go back to playing games? Go back to playing games and making videos and montages and things like that? Become a popular YouTuber. Dude, like, the number of hours I spent editing those videos was unreal. I got so sick of that. Oh, missed the boat? Oh yeah, heck yeah. But the thing is that doing those montages, like, that fell out of style so long ago. Like doing at least as far as I understand, like now it's just all about being funny. Um, that was like right at the beginning of or just before like the dawn of PewDiePie and Markiplier and all those guys, and that's where like the real money went was into basically reaction videos. It was just all about, being funny, appealing to children, basically. And yeah, I missed the boat. At least share a video. What happened? What are you talking about? Oh, no, I mean, what happened? What happened is that why don't share a video for almost 10 years is, I mean, isn't it obvious? Like, Battlefield Heroes is a dead game, and like, like the game literally got discontinued. Right, exactly. Yeah, I didn't really have a following. I wasn't actually like, I wasn't actually popular. Right? Like, I was popular in this very, very small sphere of people. Right? Like, and I knew that. I was self-aware. Like, I was like, it was just something I was doing for fun. The fact that my videos got 200,000 views eventually was like, whoa, it was crazy. That was wild to me. Yeah, I'm from the USA. Yeah, Battlefield Heroes got big in Brazil and in South America. A lot of that. I recall that now. There was like, you get into full servers full of Brazilians. Or Portuguese. What even are imaginary internet points? The other thing about like Battlefield Heroes and all that stuff is that I think my eventual like in-game time was like 3 months, right? Like my actual hours spent playing was like 3 solid months. Is what they told me. I don't even know what like how many hours in a month. 730 hours in a month. There you go. I spent over 2,000 hours playing that game. Yeah. So no wonder my parents were disappointed in me. It's like, go get a real job. Go get a job. Go do this. Go do that. Like, yeah, laughs in EverQuest. Right. Exactly. You know, if I had figured out how to monetize YouTube at the time, I probably would have done okay. But as you saw, like even with like, even with all that I did and stuff, I only ever had like 1,000 subscribers. And that's when having a subscription actually meant something. Like, and on YouTube, it does nothing now. It's freaking rubbish. Like, they still tell you to subscribe because it helps the algorithm, but like actually being subscribed and stuff is like, ugh. All right, cool. Wait, I'm subscribed to this guy? I don't want to be subscribed to this guy.
What's up?
No wonder those things keep popping up in my recommendations. Yeah, sure, go ahead. No such thing as bad press. Hey, Shoes.